Guys, I cannot believe how many banned Drake and Josh episodes I've been able to come across. I don't mean to recycle the same episode every day, but essentially I'm doing it. So there's 2 more episodes in season 2 of Drake and Josh that are just not airing, not on streaming anymore. It's ridiculous. Yes, they're on YouTube, I see that, but when you're yelling at me in the comments, I'm not gonna have a response for it. So I'm gonna share with you 2 today. The first one is the license episode, and the second one is the Little Diva episode. Let's start with the license one.
I seriously doubt our driving test is gonna include stealing a bus and ramming dragons. Do you know that for sure?
So Drake and Josh are just hanging out in the room with Drake playing video games super loud. Turns out that they should be studying for their driving test that's coming up. They get into a big argument, and I forgot how immature these guys were. When they get home from school, they find out that Walter is trying to help the boys learn how to drive. He has this whole stop sign set up in the living room and a hula hoop as a driver's wheel. Like, this bit is so funny.
A good driver is always prepared for the unexpected.
Yeah, I know. I'm always telling Drake.
A little girl!
I get to see a lot of Walter for the first time, which I haven't really seen him be this funny, and I feel like this definitely solidifies me liking him. Megan pretends to be a little girl being struck by a car, which I do not know how that would help you learn how to drive.
Nice going, Josh. You ran over your sister.
I get to run over her next.
Drake does not take this seriously at all, but Josh does. Later, when it's actually time to take the test, Drake gets somebody really pleasant and polite, and Josh gets a really bitter old woman who hates teenagers. With every interaction, Josh and this old woman just seem to butt heads at every corner, and Drake and his driving instructor really hit it off, and she's like really into this, which is really uncomfortable.
Let me just put up your window. Do you want me to rub it?
You expect Drake to get his license and Josh not to, but it turns out to be the opposite. Josh gets his license and Drake doesn't, which is not fair because this woman clearly did not warn him of the issues of his driving. She like only fed into it, which is really not cool.
You want to fry?
Gotta keep my hands on the wheel.
No problem.
But it's funny to hear all the reasons he didn't get his license. He needs to have it for the Drake and Josh Go Hollywood movie, but I guess that's not talked about yet. Megan rubs it in his face that he cannot drive, which is super funny. And Josh is living life on the edge, driving everywhere. Drake is bitter that Josh has to drive him places, when Josh actually gets pulled over. Walter warns the boys earlier that if they ever get a ticket, their license is going to be taken away from them by the parents. So when the cop comes, Josh tries every trick in the book to not appear suspicious, and he looks worse.
Oh, my heart! Oh, the bacon! I think I'm having an episode!
Give this to him when he stops faking that heart attack.
Will do.
Later, he's freaking out, and Drake offers to pay the ticket for him in exchange for taking him on rides whenever he wants. And Josh is like, wow, that sounds like a great deal. Let's do it.
Really?
Actually, I wouldn't mind going to get the zero gravity CD. Drive me to the mall?
No prob.
To the Josh-mobile.
Dude, you gotta stop saying that.
So later, Josh finds himself waiting around for Drake, taking him everywhere you would imagine. And Drake just uses him for his personal gains, which is not a surprise at all. Drake holds this over his head, even waking Josh up in the middle of the night to go get tacos, which of course he doesn't want to do.
I'm not driving to the night on some Mexican adventure.
Okay, I just thought that a corn shell full of beef and cheese would be a small reward for, I don't know, helping you keep your driver's license.
Josh stands up for himself and says that he's not going to just drive him around everywhere, and he could tell Walter about the ticket and stop holding this over his head. Later, Gavin comes by with a giant shovel, asking Josh questions about work, which is this his first episode? He's even waiting around as he goes on his dates. Everything gets kicked up even more when Drake asks Josh to chauffeur his date, insists on calling him Chives, and makes him wear a suit. So this is taken to the next level, as Josh just sits in the car and waits for Drake and his date.
Chives, do I need to have a talk with Father about the ticket you received? Yeah, you do.
Eventually he gets so fed up, and the two start arguing, leaving Josh to sit in the passenger seat and said, go ahead, Drake, why don't you drive? Second he gets in the driver's seat, the cop comes again. And it's the same cop, and for some reason he doesn't recognize the boys. Josh tries to be against Drake, but it turns out to be his issue because since he's the one with the license, he's responsible for Drake being behind the wheel, and the episode ends on them fighting.
You're going to have to give me 2 tickets.
What for?
One for the faulty taillight, and one for this!
The first episode that really ends on a really dark note, and like we never see anything resolved, which is fair because it's like I do want to see the funniest parts, and this is definitely it. So yeah, that was the licensed one. I thought it was really funny. Now let's go to the Little Diva. Okay, so this one in reviewing, I definitely see why it didn't need to be on Paramount Plus. Maybe because it's about this little girl passing out, and not even the same actress is playing Helen in this episode. Like, there's a lot of ways this could be seen inappropriate in the public eye. So I'm kind of glad they don't have this on Paramount Plus, although I do think it's a good episode. You know, no more chit-chatting, let's dive in. Season 2, Episode 7, Little Diva. So Helen informs Drake and Josh that a superstar is going to be coming to the premiere.
I can't tell you, it's top secret hush-hush business. Gotta keep it on the down low. We are having a real Hollywood premiere right here in this theater.
Helen's telling them about the after party, which Drake really wants to go to, and Josh is assigned to escort and protect this little girl around the premiere, which is weird because she has a bodyguard named Citrus, and isn't that his job? But I guess Helen just wants to accommodate her. The next day, Drake and Megan show up to Josh's work, claiming to look for the little girl. When she enters, Josh is more excited than them. We think she's humble at first, but then she starts bossing around Josh immediately, with her bodyguard even intimidating him when he gets it wrong.
I asked for room temperature. This water is chilled. Are you trying to kill me?
And she is a stereotypical snobby kid.
If you mess this up, I will thump you like a melon. You follow me?
Yes, ma'am. Like a melon.
Later back at the house, Drake is asking about getting into the after party, but Josh is exhausted for tending to this little diva's really specific requests.
She doesn't like the green gummy bears, so I had to take those out. Then she suggested I do some sit-ups.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
Who doesn't like green gummy bears?
And Drake is just so selfish, he does not even care about Josh's well-being in this situation. The next day, Drake is badgering Josh still, as this little child is dictating the entire premiere. Helen is making sure Josh abides by every one of her whims.
If I'm gonna be helping you out, I think we should lay some ground rules.
Dance.
What?
Dance.
I don't wanna dance.
Citrus.
Dancing!
This is how he got the visual gags this episode for sure. So now he's working for her full time, even delivering a fridge? Why did she have this as a request? Later, the little girl goes to hang out with Megan at the house, and she starts bossing him around off the clock. Woof, this girl has got charisma.
Wow. Look at that. 7 seconds have already gone by, and still no soy latte.
Look, Ashley, I don't know who you think you are,
I
but...
think I'm Ashley Blake.
And this is one of the most infamous scenes. Megan and this girl set a bucket on top of the boy's door to knock them out, but instead accidentally dropped the bucket on the little girl's head. And they blame Drake and Josh anyway. This is like one of the most iconic lines from this show. Like, it was just so funny back then and such a meme.
She was reaching for a bucket on top of your door, and it fell and it hit her head.
Yeah, jeez. Why was your bucket on top of our door?
Why was your door under my bucket?
The doctor from the episode before confirms that they hit her with the bucket, and they keep that on the record, which is so not fair.
Perhaps you should have thought of that before you hit her in the head with a bucket.
Wait, we didn't hit her in that.
Listen to the doctor, Josh. No more hitting little girls in the head with buckets.
Drake and Josh start freaking out because obviously they can't have the premiere without the star of the movie, and they are going to be in deep trouble. Until Drake comes up with the clever but obvious idea to Weekend at Bernie's her, use her passed out body to appear like she is still awake. This girl could be dead for all they know. Oh wait, no, a doctor just came. I don't think that's the truth.
It's Helen. She's gonna want to talk to her. Oh, the garbage can. Here, hold it.
So they have to hide it from Helen, which is not actually Helen. This is another actress that it's weird that they replaced her. And Drake and Josh have to go through the entire event making it look like natural that this girl is awake. And it is horrible. Like, there is no way this comes across as real. And right when they think they're out of the clear, the premiere guards expect her to answer a Q&A. So Drake and Josh insist on going with her to the podium and answering the questions for her.
You two gentlemen don't need to stay here.
Yeah, we do. too? She's a pescatarian.
All right. The press may now ask questions.
Ashley?
But obviously everybody gets frustrated and the facade becomes a lot harder to keep up. Finally, they get through it and throw her back into a trash can. Oh my god, these kids. Later, they pull her out and give her to Citrus, who puts her back in the trash can, and they leave her there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I could see why they left this off Paramount Plus. This one specifically, having the little girl passed out the whole time, having the guys take care of her, but not a lot of the parental supervision coming into play. Like, this is a bad look for a kids network, and some of the jokes are funny, but I definitely think it's safe to put this one aside. It's not worth the risk. Although the bucket joke is exactly the redeeming quality for this entire episode. I wish they just rewrote it or at least re-edited it to take out some of the more ridiculous issues. Otherwise, it was a good Drake and Josh episode, but it definitely doesn't hold up with the culture of what we have today. It's not a terrible episode, but I definitely see why Nickelodeon doesn't want to publicly put it out there. Although I do wish there was like a section of that set aside for us. Like, these are really fun episodes, and I want to still be able to see them now. I can't believe how much in both of these episodes I still remember. Like, I would assume these lost episodes were things I have never seen at all, but it turns out these are just like the most common, really good episodes that played every day on Teen Nick, and just suddenly they're not available anymore. It's insane. Thank you guys so much for watching the same video every day this week. I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna probably do another one and branch off to other shows as well. So until next time, everybody, this is Johnny 2000. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your grandparents about me. Have a great day.